Kate, what are you doing up so late? Where are you? I'm on a spa vacation with Luna. Oh, I understand now. I discovered everything when my husband lied to me. I'm Kate, a 30-year-old office worker. I've been married to my husband Daniel for 6 years, and we have a 6-year-old daughter named Luna. Since we got married when I was pregnant, Luna is growing up to be a wonderful child. Mom, I can help you. Really? Can you roll the hamburger patties like this? Yes, I can do that. There you go. Oh, Luna, you're really good at this. Here's one for Dad and one for Mom. This one is for Daddy. He's had a tough day at work, so he gets the big one. He might be so happy he'll cry. While I was having fun cooking with my daughter, my husband came out of the bath. Luna ran to him and said, "I made your hamburger, Daddy." He was happy too and said, "Really? I can't wait to eat it." We were enjoying our time as a happy family, or so I thought. Both my husband and I work, but he has a shorter commute and less overtime than I do. Because of this, I often ask him to pick up our daughter from kindergarten. Recently, he's been coming home late due to work, so I've had to pick her up and bring her home myself. My daughter said sadly on the way home from kindergarten, "I wonder if Daddy doesn't like me anymore." I think she misses him because he used to pick her up, and now he comes home very late. Sometimes he doesn't even get to see her. I gently patted her head, even though it hurt me to see her upset. Daddy is working really hard for you right now. Once things calm down, he'll be able to spend more time with you. Really? Yes, so let's support him together with Mommy. Okay, I'll cook for him. She's such a sweet girl. I'm looking forward to the day when we can all eat together as a family again. But a few months later, my husband was still working long hours. He came home very late. Before, he used to be home by the last train, but now he's coming home at 2-3 a.m. or even taking the first train in the morning. Are you sure it's all work? If you're just out drinking, I wish you'd come home and spend time with Luna. I couldn't take it anymore and told my husband how I felt. My daughter has been missing her dad for a month and looks really sad. My husband didn't like what I said and got upset. Huh? What's with the tone? I go to work parties for the family's sake. It's unfair to accuse me like that. Okay, I'm sorry, but you need to understand that Luna is feeling lonely because she doesn't get to spend time with you. After I said this, he went quiet and went straight to the bedroom. Since then, things have been awkward between us. Then, I was told by my company that I needed to go on a short business trip. There were a lot of things I needed to check in person, so I might have to stay 1 or even 2 nights. My first concern was what to do with my daughter. My parents lived too far away to help. I would have to ask my husband, but with how busy he's been, I wasn't sure if I could rely on him. Still, I had no other choice, so I waited for him to come home. I wondered if he had been out drinking again, and sure enough, he came home late. It was well past midnight, and around 3 o'clock, I heard the door unlock. Welcome home. Kate, I didn't know you were still up. My husband was surprised to find me waiting for him. I had stayed up because I needed to talk. Huh? Talk? He came home drunk, his face red, but now he looked pale as he sat down at the dining table and stared at me. So, what do you want to talk about? It's not a big deal. But he seemed unusually upset. I told him about my upcoming business trip. It was short notice, but I had to leave in 2 weeks on Friday. I'd need to stay at least 1 night, and possibly 2 if there was a lot to do. I couldn't help but notice how strange he was acting. Can you take care of Luna while I'm away? I know you're busy with work, I asked, feeling apologetic. My husband looked relieved. Oh, that's totally fine. Really? Yeah. Are you okay with work? Of course I'm busy, but I need to put you and Luna first. How about I take a day off and take Luna on an overnight hot spring trip? I haven't had a chance to spend time with her lately. I'm sure Luna would love that. I was relieved to hear my husband say that. It showed he really cared about our family. I had been worried lately about whether he truly cared, but it seemed my concerns were unfounded. The next day, while taking my daughter to kindergarten, I told her the news. What? Daddy and I can go on the hot spring trip together. She was so excited and happy, which made me happy too. When the day of my business trip arrived, it went better than I expected. It was my first trip since having Luna, but everything went smoothly. The people I met were very helpful and made sure everything was in order for me to check. The work went so smoothly that I finished by 7 p.m. that day. I thought, since I'm done, I might as well go home tonight. I wasn't sure if I'd be staying one night or two without knowing the status of my work. I planned to spend the first night at a manga cafe instead of a hotel to avoid cancellation fees. If I got a ticket, I could catch the last train home. I wanted to spend a relaxing evening at home if I could, so I hurried to the train and headed home. I imagined my husband and daughter enjoying a delicious meal at a hotel. The thought of my daughter's happy face made me feel better. I decided that I'd wake up early the next morning, clean the house thoroughly, and surprise them both. With that in mind, I arrived home around 11 p.m. I wondered why the light was on in the living room. Did my husband forget to turn it off? Frowning, I walked inside and found my daughter curled up on the sofa, crying. "Oh, Luna, what's wrong?" "Mommy, why are you crying? Where's Daddy?" My husband was nowhere to be seen. I was so upset I immediately started asking Luna questions. "Daddy left this morning without me." "What? What is going on?" What was my husband thinking? I was furious with my husband's crazy behavior, but I needed to calm Luna down first. I hugged her tightly. "I'm so sorry. I know you were lonely being alone so late at night." As I held her and stroked her head, she seemed to relax and started to fall asleep in my arms, exhausted from being scared and anxious. I gently carried her to bed, then went back to the living room to call my husband. "Kate, why are you calling at this hour? Where are you?" "I'm on a spa trip with Luna." "Why are you whispering?" "Luna is already tired and asleep. I don't want to wake her." "Oh, I see. I'm sure she's asleep, but she's not with me." I realized my husband had lied to me. I was close to losing my temper, but I managed to stay calm. "How's the trip going?" "It's great. I wouldn't mind staying another night. The food is good, and the hot springs are wonderful." "Well, why don't we stay one more night then?" I said that, and my husband sounded unsure. "But Kate, you're coming home after one night, right? If you do, you'll be alone, so Luna and I will come back tomorrow." I knew exactly what he was worried about. He was afraid that if I got home first, I'd discover he had left her daughter alone. So I decided to lie. "Well, I've got a lot of work to do and will be home later than planned. I'll need to stay another night, so don't worry about me. Enjoy your trip as long as you like." He didn't question my lie at all. "Really? Then I'll extend the trip for one more night." Luna is really excited. I need to give her more time with her daddy since I haven't been able to spend much time with her recently. "Okay, just make sure to call me when you know when you'll be back." My daughter's excited. "What are you talking about?" She was curled up and crying by herself. I held back my anger and ended the call. I was determined to make him face the consequences for the pain he caused Luna. I called my parents and explained everything. Then I quickly started packing my things and contacted a moving company. Luckily, I found a company that could come that day, so I arranged for them to move my stuff out. My daughter looked confused as she saw several men coming in and taking things out of the house. "I need to talk to her." "Luna, I've decided that we're not going to live with your dad anymore. I don't want you to be sad anymore. I'm going to quit my job and move in with Grandma and Grandpa so I can spend more time with you. But if we move to Grandma and Grandpa's house, you won't be able to see your dad. What do you want to do?" I knew it was tough to ask such a question to a 6-year-old, but I wanted to know her thoughts. "Will I never see Daddy again? If you really want to see him, I can arrange for you to visit him occasionally, but he won't be living with us anymore." I wanted my daughter to have the chance to see her father if she wanted, even though I doubted he would make time for her after the divorce, especially after leaving her alone at home while he went on vacation. As I was thinking about this, my daughter seemed to come to a decision. She looked me straight in the eyes and said, "I'm going with you, Mommy. Daddy probably doesn't care about me." I cried and asked him, "Why are you leaving me?" But he didn't answer and just left. I was deeply hurt that he made our 6-year-old daughter feel this way just so he could go on a vacation with his mistress. I felt he was a terrible man, a lousy father, and worthless. I regretted leaving my daughter with him and going on a business trip if it meant this would happen. "Luna, I'm so sorry for making you so sad." I hugged Luna tightly, and we started working on the move. I decided to leave the rest of the issues with my husband behind and focus on settling in with my parents. A few hours later, my husband called. "Hey, why is all your stuff missing? And Luna's things too. What's going on?" "Don't you know why?" "Of course not. Luna's crying because her stuff is gone. You really think you can keep lying to me after all this?" "That's strange. Luna is now eating noodles that my mother made. What? We already know you left your 6-year-old daughter alone at home while you went on a trip with someone else. How could you do that? You're not fit to be a father. If I hadn't come back that day, you could have traumatized Luna for life. My husband was stunned and silent, clearly not expecting me to be with Luna already. Anyway, you left your daughter alone just to be with another woman. I can't stay married to you. I want a divorce. Divorce? Oh no, please reconsider. I can't. I don't want to see you anymore. While we were on the phone, I heard the doorbell ringing repeatedly. Oh God, who could it be at a time like this? My husband sounded annoyed, but I knew who it was. Looks like they've arrived. Dad and Mom. I heard my husband's voice on the phone, followed by my father-in-law yelling, "What the hell are you doing?" And then a loud commotion. Well, that's the start. I guessed it was the sound of him getting beaten up. My father-in-law had practiced judo for many years and was now an advisor at a university. He adored his granddaughter, Luna. When I told him about my husband's infidelity and how he left Luna alone, he was furious. He said he was going to teach my husband a lesson. I decided to ask him for a favor. What the hell do you think you're doing with your own daughter? I didn't raise you to be such an... I could hear my stepfather's angry voice repeating his thoughts. Even though we lived in an apartment, I was glad we were on the first floor. If there were people living below, they might have complained. But since we'd already moved out, it didn't concern me anymore. My father-in-law really laid into my husband, both physically and mentally. After that, the divorce settlement went smoothly. I got full custody, and the alimony and child support were paid in one lump sum. I even managed to get alimony from the mistress. My husband tried to remarry the mistress, but she wasn't interested in a serious relationship and left him because he was too serious. At work, he's embarrassed about his affair. He's been disowned by his parents, dumped by his mistress, and now his daughter is with me. He's left with nothing but his own mess, and frankly, he deserves it. Meanwhile, I'm enjoying happy times with my daughter at my parents' house. My parents are farmers, so I help them out. My daughter loves eating fresh vegetables from the farm and enjoys being surrounded by nature. I'm committed to putting her first in my life. Leaving a young daughter alone for an affair? He should have faced legal consequences. I hope Luna isn't too heartbroken, but it feels good that my husband finally lost everything he had. Kate, I hope you and your daughter stay happy and continue to find joy together.